Alopecia, hair loss. I might know a little bit about it. Let's get the 401 on it. What's going on, Secoya Nation? Actually, bring you today's wellness wisdom. Been a hot minute. We were reflecting on when the last time we did one of these. We've been doing a lot of messages on TikTok and getting people answers to their questions. So we're back. Here we go. So hair loss. Your hair are your antennae. Just so you know, they like sense the environment and things like that. So if you, for example, the first thought that comes to mind is like wanting more communication or less communication. So depending on where you go, you'll either create more hair or lose more hair depending on the amount of communication you have. And so that plays into how your follicles go. Now, the number one reason for hair loss is stress, if you didn't know that. What happens is when you get stressed, you drive up your androgens, and dihydrotestosterone, DHT, is a really common thing associated with the hair follicles. They're follicle-driven as far as the hormone goes. So when you get stressed, your androgens go up, your hair then shrivels and shrinks. And one time the guy said, I was down at a regenerative medicine seminar and training, and they said, what do you do for bald people? Like, well, it depends. And I said, well, what about mine? He's like, well, that'd be like planting a flower in concrete. So it wouldn't work for me, but if you have hair and you're thinning, then PRP is a great tool for you. So if you have an interest in PRP, that's a great idea for you, or anybody you know who's losing their hair or having really thinning hair, because I know a lot of ladies come in here with a concern about it. So
what is PRP?
PRP is platelet-rich plasma. Thank you, Anissa. And that's a service we provide here in the clinic. So we draw your blood out, spin it down, get the platelet-rich plasma off there, put it back in the follicles area, increases the blood flow, increases the immune system reaction there, decreases the stress, and then helps it grow. So great question. If you're feeling like you have lost your position, you've lost your talents or your gifts, or you're feeling disconnected, getting back to the hair loss now, that's one of the threads that's related to it. And, so if you're feeling lack of communication with your environment, like I lost my position, then you can feel like, muffled the microphone, I can feel like that I'm losing my position. So mine might be related to a separation conflict with my mother, because she was when I was born, she had MS several years before I was born, and she was not really available emotionally, so that would have been a separation conflict for me, which would also show up in the skin in the form of different things, but at any rate, if you start self-evaluating, thinking less of yourself, then you might want to lose contact with that environment that's creating that self-evaluating conflict, and as a result, then your antennae, your hair will shrink, if you will. When I really started thinning my hair, I was in the Peace Corps, living in a different country, didn't speak a lot of the language, trying to integrate myself in a different world, and so I would have been stressed to the roots, as the metaphor goes. I would have been stressed out, if you will. If I personally didn't want a bond with someone, I didn't want a connection with them, and I was denying that bond, that can affect the hair roots and things like that, because you don't want the communication again. You're feeling like you want to shut off the communication, so you deny that bond, you then shrivel and shrink the hair, and then it becomes fragile and brittle and stuff like that. Another one is feeling shame. Shame is, of course, not that I did a bad thing like guilt, but I am a bad person. So if a person believes that they're never good enough, that can be a shaming thing. All these things, either in concert or individually, can cause a shrinking or shriveling or dying off of the roots. And then you end up with a barber like mine named Bick in the morning. So at any rate, take this to heart. Take some information, apply it for yourself or with someone else. If we can help you with PRP to help save your hair that's not a flower in concrete, let us know. And we'll look forward to an opportunity to serve you then. All right? Otherwise, we'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.